Hello, today is day one of section 9.4, operations with functions. The essential question, how do I add, subtract, multiply, and divide functions? Who could use this? An importer or importers can use function operations to determine the costs of items that are purchased in foreign currencies. You can perform operations on functions in much the same way that you perform operations on numbers or expressions. You can add, subtract, multiply, or divide functions by operating on their rules. We'll go over what we mean by that. Let's scroll down though. So when we are adding two functions together, we are going to just add like terms. When we are subtracting two functions, we're going to distribute the minus sign and combine like terms. Multiplying, if it's a binomial times a binomial, we'll FOIL, or the box method. Sometimes we may have to multiply a binomial times a trinomial, and we will go over that. And division, when we're dividing two polynomials. When you're dividing, you must say where g of x, in this case, which is the denominator here, if we look right here, where g of x, you have to look at that, where that cannot equal 0. Remember, you can never divide by 0. Let's go to the next page and see what we have on here. Oh, an example. Perfect. Example number 1. We're given a function, f of x and g of x, and we're going to add those two functions together. So that is the same thing as saying f of x plus g of x. That's exactly what it's saying. We're going to add the two functions together. And so let's do that. So we have f of x is 4x squared plus 3x minus 1 plus g of x, which is 6x plus 2. I now am going to combine like terms. 4x squared, there's nothing to combine that with. We have a 3x. We have a 3x and a 6x, which is 9x. And we have a negative 1 plus a 2, which is 1. And we are done. That is it. 4x squared plus 9x plus 1. Next, we're given the same functions, but this time we are subtracting them. So f minus g of x is the same thing as f of x minus g of x. Notice whatever function is listed first comes first, and whichever second is second when you are subtracting or adding in this case. So f of x, I write it out, 4x squared. Oh boy, let's try that again. Okay, 4x squared plus 3x minus 1 minus 6x plus 2. So what I'm going to do is rewrite the 4x squared plus 3x minus 1. We don't need parentheses anymore. And now what we're going to do is we're going to distribute that minus sign in, which will give us negative 6x minus 2. We now are going to combine like terms. We have a 4x squared. We have a 3x and a negative 6x, which is a negative 3x. And we have a negative 1 and a negative 2, which is a negative 3. So we have the final answer right now is 4x squared minus 3x minus 3. New page. Example 3, we're going to do example 3. Oopsie, let's come back to that. We're going to do example 3 and example 4 in class because they're adding and subtracting again. Example 5. So when you divide functions, we've already talked about this, be sure to note any domain restrictions that may arise, meaning you can never divide by a negative. If you do, your function is undefined. So we have to specify what x cannot equal, only when we're dividing. So let's do this. We have g times f of x. So how we're going to write that out is, I go to that page in my notes, I'm going to say g of x times f of x. So I'm going to write g of x first. Again, I'm going to do g first because g was listed first. So that's 2x minus 2 times 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. So what we're going to have to do now is not FOIL, but we're going to distribute the 2x to everything. Trying to do this, color coding it. And the negative 2 to, nope, to everything. That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to get rid of that little, oh, didn't want that to happen. Let's fix this up here a bit. That 2 back. There we go. Go back to the green. And there we go. Okay, I think we're ready to go. So the blue, if we take, I'm going to fix this a little bit because that is a 2x squared. So if we take 2x squared, oh my goodness, let me fix this again. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so I apologize, that's not a squared on there. So we're taking 2x times 2x squared, which is 4x cubed. Then we're taking 2x times 4x, which is 8x squared, and 2x times negative 6, which is a negative 12x. Then we're going to do the green. Negative 2 times 2x squared is a negative 4x squared. Negative 2 times 4x is a negative 8x. And negative 2 times negative 6 is a positive 12. Perfect. We are now going to combine like terms. There's only one cubed. We'll write 4x cubed. Now we have 8x squared and negative 4x squared. That is a positive 4x squared. And we have a, let's see, we have a negative 12x and a negative 8x, which is a negative 20x. And we have, looks like just a 12. And that is our final answer. So we're going to circle that. 4x cubed plus 4x squared minus 20x plus 12. That's multiplying. Now we're going to divide the two functions. So we're going to take f of x divided by g of x. So I have to scroll back up because f of x is the 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. So I'm going to write that. 2x squared plus 4x minus 6 all over g of x, which is 2x minus 2. And we're going to factor. Well, remember the question we always ask before we factor anything, is there a GCF? And oh, I look and I think I can take out a 2. When I take out a 2, I get x squared plus 2x minus 3 all over. I can take out a 2 out of the bottom, x minus 1, and I see those 2's can cancel. Well, we can still factor more because we can find now, if you look at the top, two numbers that multiply to negative 3 and add to 2. Let's say 3 and 1, that's a negative, that's a positive. So they multiply to negative 3 and add to 1. X minus 1's cancel, and you're left with x plus 3. Even though you cross that off, remember before, you look at the step where you cross things off, so you have to state that x cannot equal 1. That is also part of the answer. That's it. Let's see what's on the next page. We have another multiplication and another division. I think we're going to save those for class. And here we go. We'll make this a short video. We're subtracting g minus h of x. Very easy. Distribute the minus. And then number 2, we're multiplying. We will see you tomorrow.